welcome back to the BEAL. Today I'm going to start with my beautiful dialect, the Edo. The reason is just I want to put some things clear to our people, the Edo speaking people, the Asian, to all the Benins who understand my beautiful language, the Edo language. Yeah, we're here talking about Bedene. Ibini kitu wahia we domo atwebe legwe binu wahia we enve ke edene we de no gbera we no de omo ogima omo no ba nedo oba eware no pokeva no kidiga obe udwe ukioge etu pieme to deba edena ya mwe okie agbona hia fe ima ogini ma aji mana ya kuwe gogo nedo yabe ya kuwe gogo we muhima yabe awima ya obese edene obugio ivava neva urato urakbe nimaya obarato be ise. So let me continue with my broadcast. And as I said before, this just a little explanation for those who doesn't understand this our beautiful language, the Edo language. I just congratulate the Omonoba Nedo Huapolopolo Oba Eware Nokbogiva, the second, the great, and to wish him all the best in celebration of his birthday and the coronation day. Yes, to come back to our main broadcast today, I'm going to be talking about civilization, total destruction, hatred, separation, and total submission. Yes, many people don't really understand when we talk about civilization, especially the Western civilization. We understand that civilization is bringing good things to other people, bringing eye-opening things to other people. That is what the English version of civilization is trying to explain to us. But we, the Black people, or we, the Beninese, we understand the Western civilization, a total, complete destruction of our own civilization, which was also taking place. And this didn't happen in just, let me say, in a simple way, without bloodshed, without year-long, year upon year suffering and dealing with us to a total summation of what we have today. Most of our people, brainwashing our people, telling them we are bringing civilization to us, and at the same time destroying our own civilization, destroying our own ethnic identities. Many people may not understand or may not agree with me, but before the coming of the Westerners, especially the Portuguese, to the Benin Empire of those days, the Beninese were having language, we were having so many things. We were having irrigation system, we were having self-defense and others. But we were very, as I know my people, the Benin people, we were very, very happy to meet some white people who were also interested in our our civilization, in our culture, and all that. But we fail to realize that period that this could also be a dangerous situation for us, because we dealt with the Portuguese for years and years and years. But we also fail to recognize that the Portuguese were systematically trying to erase our culture, all that belonged to us. In the first case, for example, the sending of our prince to Portugal to study in Portugal, while at the same time the Portuguese did not send their son or their prince to study in our own empire, in Benin Empire. By doing that, the Portuguese has already started, one way or the other, to start using us, to start brainwashing us, to start introducing some ways of life. Even the language we speak today, the Edo language, are in one way or the other influenced by the Portuguese. I believe when we continue, or when we start recognizing all these issues, that we can be able to promote our culture the way we want to promote it. I can understand so many of you people now will be saying, what type of nonsense is he talking about? This went as far having an embassy in Portugal, but the Portuguese didn't have an embassy in our empire. Upon all the trades we were having, because there was not equal rights at that period. It's like all the rights were being reserved for the Portuguese. We should have stand up that period to say no. Let us be equal partner. If you have an embassy if we have an embassy in your country, you should also have an embassy in our country. And if we send our prince to study in Portugal, you people should also send your prince to study in our own empire. But that wasn't the case. The Portuguese were systematically using our ignorance against us, working against us. But we refuse to recognize this. And as I said, many people will disagree with me, but if you go to the chronology of what happened during the empire, you will see some of these issues I'm trying to talk about today, about civilization, total destruction, division, hatred, and submission. When our prince went to Portugal to study, when he came back, a lot of things happened. A lot of things happened, a lot of changes happened, which was trying to change the Benin nation into a Christian nation, of which our initiate told him, you cannot serve two gods. Either you are with us, or you are not with us. So that was the reason he has to step back and take our ownership. As you all know today, the Holy Arosa was also that time built, because the chiefs also have to go into compromise with our Oba that period to make sure the Benin Empire was united to be one as it was before. But the Benin refused to recognize so many things, as I said, that the Portuguese were using a very, very hardware weapons against us. When I say hardware, it wasn't a computer or something like that, because they were using systematically, because the Europeans were using the Portuguese, working against us, spying on us, to know how powerful we were, to know where our weak points were. The Portuguese, they were not just only friends to us, they were also spying on us, giving information back to the British, to the Germans, and to the French, which eventually led to the collapse of the Benin Empire. Uh, if you go through the slave trade, what happened during the slave trade, what our people went through in America and and the and the other parts of the world, you will now understand. You will understand fully the system of what really happened, why the Benin Empire collapsed after the invasion by the British and taking the of our Oba to Calabar. In the first place, the British and the Western Europeans, they promised our people civilization, which we already had that period. The meaning of civilization, as people know, is a total submission, submitting your own culture, your own history to be rewritten by someone else, taking full control of your brain to think, even to do something for yourselves. This is a total submission. And by doing so, those people giving you civilization, they have to destroy your own civilization, of which partly was successful in Benin Empire. If we went to the issue which led to the not deportation, please sorry, which led to the taking of Oba Ovurame to Calabar, we will understand. Although we call some of these chiefs traitors and others, as we usually say, and among those people usually say this because a traitor, a chief, a commanding chief should have risen far better than the way it was that period. Because the British and the Westerners, they promised our chiefs so many things, bringing civilization, bringing new system, and others. The empire was so fragile that even our neighbors were promised so many things, like our Yoruba neighbors, the Igbos, the Hausas, were promised so many things so that they can be able to destroy our empire. I'm saying this because it's when you look at what happened in America during the slavery, you will see a parallel how this was uh, uh, done. You know, in the first, the blacks were slaves and they got freed. When they were freed, they themselves, the black people, uh, were somehow brainwashed during this slavery period. And those who were free were very happy to be free. But that freedom was just for a short time, just maybe one day, for not having a chain in your legs. But other system was invented, especially in the South and the others, that the black people, they started enslaving themselves because there was no hope of surviving all this period. This is exactly which make them to join the military, fighting against the Aborigines, the Indians, and others, which also led to total destruction. The same thing happened in the so-called Nigeria today. When the British were trying to create Nigeria, and the Benin Empire was on their way. They find solution, and the solution was the total destruction of the Benin Empire. Because in some of my first broadcasts, I always said this: they didn't know that we were seeds, because they just were trying to destroy us, but we regenerated. It was with the help of our ancestors that helped us to regenerate, to be whom we are today, and why we are whom we are today. And you can still see the division among us today, because the British and the Westerners, the Germans, the French, because the Benin Empire stretched as far as to Ghana, to Ivory Coast, to Cameroon, to the today Republic, Benin Republic, even beyond to some part of Senegal. But when the British started, they didn't start with a full-scale war on us. They started with division, or the Westerners started with the division. They divided themselves, uh, coming from different angles, annexing state by state. Like in Ghana, Ghana was then taken away. As the Volta regions of Ghana, which is not today, or the Accra region also was taken away immediately, and the part of the gas in Ivory Coast or the EWUARE were also taken away. Then from Cameroon, site was also taken away. Gradually, Lagos was taken away, and so Ondo State and Ogun State was taken away. They started creating so many regions that our military power was so degraded that we could not even defend the city. This was not just done one day, because many people would just say, oh, 99, this and that, the invasion. But no, it wasn't like that, because we need to learn from all these issues. Why I'm saying this today is just the division among us, especially the ISEE and some of the affirmers. Those who know their history very well, who understand, who is truthful to themselves, we come to their senses one day, who money is not being blinded because of one reason or the other. We come to their senses one day to know who really they are. Because you can say you are not this, you are not that. It's not the truth. Your identity remains the same. To continue, the British and the Westerners, the French and the Germans, they did this successfully, annexing one state after the others in the Benin Empire, that our empire was so cut to the extent that we were reduced to equivalent of the size of, let me say, 10 states or 15 states in Nigeria today. We can see all our children's all over the world, divided and everywhere. Our duty is to bring all these children together again, the children of the Benin's worldwide, to make sure we have a sort of commonwealth, a sense of belonging where they really belong. But we can see today the system is still functioning perfectly. And they started with the distortion of our histories, telling us, like the Yoruba language that was being founded by the British was founded to oppose the Benin's. Likewise, the Igbo language that was founded by the British was founded to oppose the Benin, to make sure the Benin's are being suppressed. Likewise, the Hausa and the Fulani language was not found by the British, but they had also this problem of caliphate and others, which make the British also use them in a full scale against the Benin Empire. if you talk about the Fulani, for example, if you listen to so many of our people broadcast and that, the Fulani is the largest ethnic group, if not in the whole of Africa. And it should be followed by the Benin if we have this cooperation to say we are one. Because in Fulani, you can even find them in sub-Sahara Africa, in West Africa, in some parts of East Africa. You find them almost everywhere. They are the largest ethnic group in West Africa, followed by the Benin. But due to our language, because I've been saying this, if our elders could come together to form a single language for us without discrimination, without uh, any sort of domination, the Benin Empire will rise again, will rise to its full scale before the invasion. And we have a say in the nation called Nigeria today. But for me, it would be better for us to have our own nation, a united nation of the great Benin Empire, which the monarchical pattern of system of government, we have 80% of the power being given to them. Many people may not also agree with this because we can see the destruction that is being brought by the so-called democracy to us. The demonstration of craziness. Democracy brought so many things to us. Brought corruption, inhuman, where we now have first class, second class, third class citizenship. We can see what is happening today in our health system and all that. In the olden days, in our old empire, if somebody is sick, will be taken to the doctors. They call it native doctor, but I don't call them native doctor. I call them doctors because these people, they were capable of healing and doing all sorts of things that are also being done today. They were not having all this equipment that we all have today or the computer, but they were able to carry out their duties. So the Benin people need to come together to unite because the future of Nigeria is not bright. Because if we look at all the candidates that Nigeria has today, you talk about Tinubu, Atiku, or Obi, none of these people really cares about you. You should understand. If Tinubu is sick, he went to abroad for treatment. Likewise Obi, likewise Atiku, or whoever it is. At the same time, if we cannot unite to be one, the future for us is not going to be bright. I'm sorry to say this. Many people, especially the Edo people, they believe in supremacy. The supremacy will not bring us more forward than loyal to our brothers and sisters. Treat them like brothers and sisters. Don't treat them like enemies. When we start discriminating ourselves, say this one is Edo, this one is Isa, this one is Urobo, this one is Ishekeri, it's going to be very, very difficult for us. And I can assure you the future is not going to be bright. It's going to be dark for us. During the slavery, the British succeeded in doing this to all our people in Africa. And at the same time, those that were being slaves, taken to other places, and others, that we lost our language, we lost our history, we lost our culture. So many things we lost that belongs to our identity. But today, uh, if you go to any school in Edo State, you hardly find a school that is teaching Edo language. If you go to the eastern part of Edo State today, hardly you find a school that is teaching the eastern language. Even the books, the Edo language books, eastern language, Urobo language, they are very rare to find. Come to the Western world, you find the English language books everywhere. You find the German language books everywhere. The French, the Spanish, the Portuguese, the Irish, Scottish, you find them everywhere. But in our country, you hardly find them. Why is it so difficult for us to come back to our senses, to understand that everything, the civilization that is being brought to us, is a total destruction? It's a total destruction. It doesn't mean well for us. And I have been always saying this, let us go back to the path of our forefathers, to the ways of our forefathers. Although they were not also perfect, but they were far, far off better than what we have today. The crimes and all that is taking place in our cities today, like that of what happened recently in Edo State, that of Apostle Suleiman. If I have to say this, many people will also disagree. In the first place, is a complete failure, a complete system failure for a policeman or a policewoman to be guiding a pastor. Is a complete failure for a policeman or a military personnel to be guiding a commissioner or a wife of a commissioner. This is a complete failure, where a council chairman will be having an escort. I haven't seen it in other parts of the world. In Western world, I haven't seen it. The governor of this state where I'm living today, he has only 3 escorts. The first escort is his own driver, and the second escort is his own secretary, followed by 1 policeman in plain uniform. Likewise, the president of this country. People may not understand why it's very, very important to do a good job in our country. Because if we have this good job in our country, that the government is doing their job, that everybody, let me say at least 80% of the population in Nigeria is being employed, either self-employed or being employed by other private bodies or government bodies, we will not be having all this crime that we're having today. The crime will be reduced to at least very, very low percent. Many people always say the Western world, they have less criminal. That is not just the truth. They have criminals, but they have their own way of going around making sure that these people, they have less criminal. First of all, employment, the law They don't allow people to take laws into their hands, no matter whom they are. Although there are still loopholes, but I can assure you 90% of the crime that is being committed are being persecuted without favor. But in our own case, a rich man commits crime day in and day out. The pastors commit crime day in and day out. The ordinary citizens commit crime day in and day out. Nobody cares. Nobody cares to say something, to say enough is enough. We cry on social media day in and day out. Like in the case of Apostle Suleiman, who is having 2 private jets. Then, where his church members are sleeping under the bridge, who could not afford an apartment. I see no reason why he should be guided. Whoso believe in the power of God and the spirit of Bible, we should allow the Bible to guide him. Why should he has I don't want to say this because people will also attack me to say I'm antichrist again. But the truth needs to be told. If you so believe on that God Almighty, why should you be having an armored vehicle? Why should you be hiding under armored vehicle? A bulletproof vehicle. Now your church members, they are roaming around the street, even collecting beams to survive, collecting aluminiums, collecting in our own dustbins to survive. You know, if you think our Osalobua is sleeping, they are not sleeping. They have their open eyes on you people. One day, all of you will be called to duty to pay for your crime against humanity. In the case of Apostle Suleiman, for me, I don't support any crime against any other human being. I'm totally against that. And I'm totally against any use of force against any human being. But what I can tell you, if we have managed to build our society in such a level that nobody go hungry, I don't think all this crime, all this invading, all this kidnapping will be less. Okay, for now, for example, what I can recollect or what I heard, a total of 7 people were killed. Think about 4 or 5 policemen. Who doesn't have this opportunity to be on armored vehicle or a bulletproof vehicle? And some of the entourage that was following this person. We could, if we can reason very well, why should I be protecting somebody who is riding on a bulletproof? Why I myself is a commoner who is riding on a common vehicle, not even protected? These policemen, they were not even having a bulletproof vest to protect themselves. You can see the situation we have in this country. You can point finger to whoever you want to point finger because you are not even better than those people you are pointing your finger to. Let us be sincere and say the truth. I know many of your church members will now come out and start saying this is that, but let us see the truth with our 2 naked eyes. These policemen today, they are no longer living. Their family members are in pains, And they will be in pain for a long time because this is a heavy loss to those families. Because no God will bring them back to their family. And there's no song of joy or song of God or you can sing that will bring them back to their family. Never. The first mistake is the Nigerian police. We need to be reorganized, disbanded, reorganized. Because these people are part of the problem. You assign nothing less than 7 policemen to a pastor, where we have so many crimes in our cities. You can see the system that is being brought to us. This is what the demonstration of craziness, the demonstration of democracy brought to us, the Westerner imposed on us. Now, we have armed robbers, we have the Fulani herdsmen, we have everything in our societies. But when we have the capacity to fight this crime, many people will be saying the police are not well equipped, are not this, are not that. But we know there are less equipped policemen in this world than this of Nigeria, but they still perform their duty. They still perform their duty because they love what they are doing and they know why they are doing what they are doing. But in the case of Nigeria today, the case of Nigerian police, it is a pity to see how our Nigerian police are being used to protect private individuals who are not even doing some contributions to the society. Because you cannot tell me today owning 2 private jets is a contribution to the society. No, not at all. Or traveling from Nigeria to France to go and have a health care and come back again to tell me this is a contribution to the society. Or flying from Nigeria to London for treatment and coming back to tell us this is a contribution to the society. No. In our olden days, everybody were treated. The same native doctor that treats the old man, that treats the poor, also come to the palace to take care of our Obas that period. Yes, enough of religion. Let me come back to where I was before. Yes, you can see what is written here. Why Oba EWUARE II is the greatest emperor of our time. Because many people may not understand this word, greatest. After the invasion of the Benin Empire, there was a time where there was no ownership, where the Benin was under administrative something, under the British or the Western influence. During this period, much more damage was being done to our empire. For example, our language, our culture, our heritage. Most of our heritage today you find in the whole world. Most of them are being renamed. In some ways, the British, they did so many things. They renamed some of our artifacts, our artworks, rename it as Yoruba, or rename it as Igbo artifact. We know this. Anywhere you see an artifact that looks like that of the Benin and it's been named Yoruba, you should understand that there's no Yoruba artifact that was stolen. It was only the Benin's artifact that was being stolen from the Benin Empire. Many people should understand this. In my post about a few days ago, I posted a figure. This figure was in a website from a French website, and this artifact should be sold or was about to be sold. And I can see how the explainer was struggling to explain where the artifact came from. I have to repost what this explainer was doing in our page. Some of our Benin people came and said I should correct what is written there. And I wrote something to explain a little bit that the explainer is trying to, this is what the explainer is trying to do. This is what has been happening to so many of our artifacts. So many of our artifacts were being rewritten, decorated as Yoruba artifact, like the crown you see in the head of Oni of Ife actually was made in Benin. But the British renamed this artifact to the Oni of Ife. We know that the British, with the collaboration of the Yorubas and some other African nations and some of our neighbors, renamed so many of our artifacts to be Yoruba artifacts, to be Igbo artifacts, of which originally these artifacts were created in the Benin Empire. And to come to this, why Oba EWUARE II Ogidigan is really a great emperor. After the invasion, there was a loopholes and nothing whatsoever. All the artifacts were lost. So many things were lost. Even so many of the truths were under the carpet, kept and rewritten, our history rewritten. So many things were rewritten, but the truth always come out gradually. During the reign of Oba Erediawa of blessed memory, a lot of things started surfacing with the argument with the Oni of Ife and so many others about the Benin Empire, about the origin of the Benin Empire, which the British also did a very, very great damage to our history, because we know the first Oni of Ife was a Benin son. Was a Benin son, was an origin from the royal family. And yes, and we can, during the reign of Oba Erediawa, a lot of things started surfacing because you can oppress the truth, but you cannot keep it forever. Started coming out. The fight for the Benin artifacts started. But today, we can see during the reign of Oba EWUARE II Okidigan, the great emperor, that our forefathers are coming back home. They are coming back home not because of our Oba is sleeping, not because of our Oba is not working. Because many of you always ask, what is the Oba doing? We can see today the great work of our forefathers is being brought back home to their rightful owners. When the British know they cannot be able to be hiding all these things, they were even trying to use some of our sons and daughters against us, giving them money, promising them so many other things. I believe the whole world today, if you go around the world today, it's only the Benin Empire that, as of now, that their artifacts are being brought back in this manner, returning back to them. Go to all other parts of the world today, hardly you find them. This is a work of a great man, a great human being. You people should understand, it's not an Oba like the others. It's a great Oba, a great emperor, that understand the meaning of all these artifacts, that understand how to sacrifice himself for these people, how to bring peace into this world we are living today. We can also see the decoration he received in the past few weeks. And as from today, I will urge my people, whenever they are writing Omonobanedo Huapolopolo Oba EWUARE II, Ogedigan, they should also add the great to it, because he has did a great job. He has had a great performances that many people will imagine that will happen in the nearest future. It's only the British government and the British Museum that is hesitating to return our artifact. But that will happen also very soon, because they might have no choice rather than to do that. And for me, there has never been an Oba who performed like this Oba we have it today, who used his brain, who used his power, who used his knowledge to work for his people, to make sure there's peace in this land, to make sure there is a sense of belonging, that we belong to the Benin Empire. We are very proud today because he stands 100% with us. We should always understand this. In promoting the Edo culture, promoting the Edo history, promoting anything about the Edo people or the Benin's, we should always put this in the back of our head. We know every great people also has people who doesn't stand with them, doesn't understand, because I would not like to call enemy. Because even those enemies, they are we people call enemies, they are also the children of our Godfather on earth. Or where Oba Nyai Azen, Nyonya also, Nyonya Dene, Nyonya Man, Mahia ne rote Dunahia Fair, in Mahia ne rote Ubini. The Oba owns the land, he owns the winch, he owns the wizard. He owns everyone living in the Ubini Empire, in the Benin Empire. No matter where you go today, when you see the sign, if you're a Benin person, when you see the sign of this Ada and Eben, then you will understand it's a very powerful something. Or when you see the picture of Amonova, or all these artifacts, your heart will bleed. Then you will know that the blood that flows through your vein is a royal blood. So thank you for being with me today, and I really appreciate everyone that stands with me. And I'm going to be coming out again regularly as before, because some of my assignment is running very well, and maybe I will have more time to be coming out regularly as before, and our posting, our history, the brotherhood will be coming back, know the shapes, the Benin Global will be also coming back. Yes, a lot. There are also going to be some changes, some positive changes in all this. Many people may not understand, because we are not a social media broadcaster who earn money from their broadcast. We do this for the love of our people, and to also bring our culture, our tradition closer to our people. Even not only our people, closer to those people that are interested in our culture, to allow them to have part in our culture. Because I'm always asked, where did you come from? Where were you born? I always give them this answer, because I'm from the Ubini Nukberu. The royal blood also flew through my brain, my my body. And people should understand where EWUARE EWUARE. If you represent the Benin Empire, I'm saying this to everybody out there. EWUARE EWUARE. Whether you went to ISEE, you went to France, you are in London, respect yourself in a manner that people will also respect you. That there's no scandal that will come out against you. No matter where you go, no matter the position you are holding, no matter how popular you are, always respect yourself, respect our tradition, respect those people you are representing by respecting yourselves. I'm saying this because I've seen a lot in the past few months that has been going on, and which I'm not other happy. I'm not also perfect. If you see something in me that you doesn't like, say it. If it's possible for me to adjust, I will adjust. Or if not possible for me to adjust, I will also say this. And we shouldn't be criticizing everything we see. We should criticize everything we see at the same time. Because through critics, you learn a lot. You have some good answers. And at the same time, I'm inviting every sons and daughters of the Benin Empire, no matter the language you speak, no matter where you live, come and join this organization. Let us work together for a better Benin nation, for a better Benin nation. No discrimination, no supremacy. We all are equal to the task. So thank you, and I appreciate everyone. God bless everyone. And Salobano de Babaya. For making it up back. So I will say goodbye now, and I hope we meet very soon, very, very, very soon again, because I'm going to be coming out regular, as I said before. Okay, bye-bye, and take good care of yourselves, and God bless you.